get active, baby. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Jay Weezy. Welcome to Jay Weezy's world. So, I got the headband on. I'm in the whip. I'm at the gym already. It is Sunday, November 16th, 10:50 in the morning, and I'm ready to get active. It is leg day. I haven't hit legs. Let's talk about it. I haven't hit legs in over a month. It's crazy to say that. My knee, if you guys haven't watched my past videos, if you're new here, I jacked up my knee as I was wrapping up a 5K in downtown Phoenix for the D-Backs Race for Cancer, and it was pretty bad. I mean, not crazy, right? I didn't break my knee or break my leg or anything like that, but definitely messed some stuff up in there, and for 2 weeks was barely able to walk on my right knee. So I've been really trying to be cautious of hitting legs, making sure I don't jack anything up, because even at some points, if I'm going up some stairs, what have you, not now, but over the last few weeks, just going up some stairs, I'll feel like a nerve or sharp pain through my knee that goes down to my foot. And so I could tell that I was walking a certain way to where I wasn't walking normal, so it agitated it. So I had to cognitively make sure I'm walking normal, but also make sure, because just make sure I was walking natural, so that way I can ice it, rest it, do what I need to do. Stretching has been a big thing over the last few weeks, and so I feel like I'm at the point where I want to go ahead and hit legs, see how hard I can take it, see how hard I can go, and see how my knee's feeling. So let's talk about a few things. So one, I'm curious on what shoes do you guys use? I know the typical Converse or some Vans, what have you. So I'm gonna just show you guys what I'm doing today. I don't wear these every time I do leg day, but I got these a few years back. So these are some Nikes, obviously, that I got offline from the Nike website. I actually customized these on the website. So like the silver here and the gumshoe bottom, like I chose all of this, the specific laces, all this. These are cross-training shoes. It has a very thick base. They don't bend in the heel at all, really, and so it keeps my heels nice and warm. They're not very good when it comes to cardio. They're very stiff, so you can't really move around much. I forgot what I paid for these. These are the Metcon 5s. Again, I got these 4 or 5 years ago, and obviously they're still holding up, and so I love them, especially on leg day. And usually what I'll do is, if I'm gonna do cardio after leg day, because most leg days I'm kind of beat afterwards, and so I will change my shoes so that way I can go ahead and do my cardio kind of comfortably, because again, they're extremely flat and extremely thick at the heel, and so these are really good leg day shoes. So what do you guys use? These are the ones I'm using right now. I have my sandals on. I have OOFOS, OOFOS. I got them probably about 7 or 8 months ago. I've never heard of the brand, never knew what the brand was. I'll go ahead and put a picture of it right here. But OOFOS, fantastic. If you're somebody who has plantar fasciitis, you did a nice long gym session as far as legs go, and you really want some sandals that are going to make sure you have nice arch support, and they kind of feel like pillows, honestly. Like, I love them. I did see some reviews, don't leave them in the sun, because kind of like Crocs, they'll kind of like shrink up a little bit, but they're definitely worth it. You can get them off Amazon. I got them from a shoe store, but Amazon, they're pretty cheap, and me personally, I love them. So I'm about to go ahead and get my workout together and get it in, and then we'll talk after the gym session. So we'll do a post-workout session, little chat, just talk about the workout and how I felt, and if the knee starts to pop and crack or anything like that, to prevent injury, I might cut it short. We'll see. I'm feeling pretty good though. I'm hydrated, got good energy. So let's go ahead and get into the gym. All right, big man, let's go ahead and chop up these tree trunks. So first, I thought it was good just to go ahead and get in a couple body weight pull squats. Got in a couple sets of those before I got into the abductor and adductor machine. You know, get those gluteuses maximus warmed up real quick. And if you follow my content, whenever I'm doing leg day, if I can, if they are available, because this gym location only has one abductor and one adductor machine. So luckily I got in here at a time where they were both empty, where I can hop right on. And I always do 2 warm-up sets each. Typically, it's going to be about 15 to 20 repetitions. Today, I'm doing 2 warm-up sets of about 10 to 12, and then I'm going to do 3 work-in sets per. And I'm only showing you guys the work-in set just to be keep it 100 with you guys. It's not the most intriguing lift, but I think it's important for people to see and for me to show it because I do feel like it is an important movement to add into your workout. That's my personal belief because it's going to strengthen those hips, strengthen the outer, the inner, the glutes because you need that when you're getting into your squats, when you're getting into um, your leg presses, or really just you want to make sure that you have that strength because if you have overly developed hamstrings, it's going to continue to pull at your glutes. So if you don't have developed glutes, that can become an issue. So moving on to the leg press. So first of all, I'm going to get in a couple warm-up sets. I have just 2 plates right here. And if you guys see, I did peek over towards my camera because I set up the camera on the next leg press over where it was out the way so the individual didn't have to worry about, my camera. But I did have a little bit of concern that he was going to hit the camera. So I kind of kept checking over. And I knew it was out the way, but it's not even so much about him hitting it, but respecting his space. So again with this I feel like I'm going nice and deep, and one of the things about being a bigger individual is that I think some people will kind of assume that you're just going to kind of come down to your stomach and go back up, where I'm going to come down to my stomach and then some because I want to feel a nice stretch at the bottom. And I'm intentionally doing these slow because I want to see how my knee is feeling, which it felt great. So after the warm-up sets, I of course went ahead and I just started adding on a plate per work-in set. So I got the 2 plates on right now, and I'm going to throw in another 2 plates, so I have 4 each side for my first work-in set. And now, if you guys will notice, and again, I love any kind of feedback you guys have for me in the comment section, but I'm a big believer on not locking out your legs. When I get into my work-in sets or more warm-up sets, I am always going to leave my knee bent slightly at the top. Never lock your legs because you might be young and you might feel like that's cool right now, but as you get older, that's going to make a big difference. And I've never locked out my legs. You've seen too many videos online where people are snapping up their legs, and it's just not worth it. So felt good within this first working set. Now back then when I was hitting legs consistently before my injury, I will get in 3 to 4 sets, probably 2 to 3 warm-up sets, and then 3 to 4 work-in sets of about 15 to 20. But again, testing on my strength today, so I'm doing 3 sets of about 10. And right now I have 5 plates on each side. And what I do like to do is once I get the weight kind of on my legs, I like to kind of give it a second, psych myself up, know I'm about to go ahead and get this weight up. And I like to have a nice smooth repetition. Depending on where I'm at in my in my set, sometimes I'll kind of pause at the bottom of the last set or two. You guys see my other content. I'll do the same thing with bench press or any other kind of press movements because I just want to make sure I'm able to hold the weight. It's not just about moving the weight up and down, back and forth, what have you. It's kind of my own thing where I'm like, I'm manhandling the weight. I'm not just moving the weight, I am controlling the weight because that's actually how you're going to build strength. And for me, is being a bigger guy, and I hate to keep mentioning that, but for me, it's important to make sure that I am able to not only move the weight but control the weight because I'm a bigger person myself. So when I bend over or do certain movements, I just want to, make sure that I have my stabilizers in order, what have you. Anyways, feel like I'm droning on. So this is my last work-in set, and I was feeling really good. Got 6 plates on each side. I've gone higher as far as plates go. Again, I wanted to kind of keep it simple today. And I believe I got about 6 or 7 reps here where I felt like, hey, let me go ahead. Last set, felt good, knocked the last one out. And as you guys have noticed, between each one of my sets, I'm continually looking at my watch because I want to keep my, look at that, put up your weights, people. That's what I'm going to go and do. So, oop, we go ahead and get this thumbnail, little thumbnail. So, I forgot what I was saying, honestly. So, again, I'm going to get to leg extensions. I always do, of course, warm-ups when it comes to leg extensions. For me, I like to hold the sides, make sure my butt is flat on the seat, my back is flat against the back. And I'm just getting a quick little warm-up set. I believe I started off with 90 pounds. Now, one thing I do want to point out, which I don't think is new to anyone, but I always want to make sure that when I'm doing leg extensions that I have my toes pointed up. Now, I've heard different theories as far as like pointing your toes down, what have you, but I like to make sure they're pointed up because I feel like that's going to put more focus, of course, on the quads. And then you can actually point your toes in different directions if you want to work the inner sweep or the outer sweep of the squat. But I have the traditional just kind of forward, working on the full quad and, keeping it simple. Now, moving on to the hamstring curls, of course, you're going to get in a warm-up. Now, if you guys have noticed, again, I have my toes pointed up, not pointed down. One thing that I've looked into that I've always had from, whether it's friends or coaching is that when it comes to hamstring curls, again, make sure that toe is pointed up so that way you're getting all the focus on the hamstrings. And if you have them pointed down, what you'll notice is that it's actually working more of your calf and you're getting your calves involved. And so, again, not a coach, just saying based on feeling and experience, just kind of giving you the whys behind why I'm doing certain things. And so, first warm-up set, and what you guys will notice is, again, checking my time, is I have my hands pressed against the machine or the handles because I want to make sure my back and butt are flat onto that. I've seen where people don't have their hands held, or even if they do, they kind of got their, they kind of, when they're doing their reps, they're kind of scooching their butt up, what have you, and so on. Me personally, I like to make sure that I am stable and I'm treating the hamstring curls like bicep curls, going slow at the top and then squeezing out the bottom. Next, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the calves, blow out these calves. And so I love this machine. I feel like it puts a solid range of motion when it comes to the calves. And so I'm going to do a quick warm-up set. This is my work-in set. And this machine, I don't know what it is, but you don't need a lot of weight for me to feel like I'm snapping up these calves. And when I mean snapping, I'm talking about getting these work in. And so I got a 45, and I think I might have a 10 on the other side. So again, nothing crazy, but the depth I'm getting on this is great. So let's go ahead and finish up this workout. All right, let's talk about it. First of all, don't know if I showed you guys, if you even care. I care. These shoes, I told you before the workout that I got them custom done. If you can tell on the lip there, Jay Weezy. Hey, keep it classy. Anyways, so very basic workout, nothing crazy. I'm telling you, I felt really good. Very happy with the workout itself. Let's kind of take a little bit of a walkthrough with it. So, got things kicked off with the leg press. In my head, I'm like, okay, do I go to squats? No, I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead. My game plan nice. How many was that? Maserati. Anyways, so my goal was to see how my knee felt, see kind of where my strength was, because not doing legs for over a month, I know my strength is going to go down. I wasn't going there trying to lift heavy, crazy, anything like that, but I'm very happy with the results. So got things started off with the leg press, and as far as the leg press goes, I wanted to get kicked off with that, and what I did is I kept my feet placement, of course, shoulder width length. Didn't go to the top of the foot placement plate or the bottom. Obviously, I wanted to keep it kind of neutral, so I have even distribution between my quads and my hamstrings. I wasn't doing my typical kind of quad dominant leg press. So I wanted to, and the reason for that being is that the fact that I've felt stressed when I'm bending my knee, I didn't want to put too much stress on the quad to prevent any kind of particular injury or anything like that. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that was just where my head was. So felt good. Started off with 2 plates just as a quick warm-up, which is extremely light. Went up to 3 plates, another warm-up. And what I used to do, I always do on leg press, I always pyramid up. I don't just do one weight. And so so when I get into my work-in sets, I start off with 4, still light, moved up to 5, then moved up to 6, which 6 felt good. 3 sets of 10 with that. Now usually I'm about kind of a 8 to 10 plate per side type of situation, but again, just getting back into it felt really good. Overall though, I'm happy with how my hamstrings felt. I'm happy with how my knee felt. Again, basic workout. I didn't get into any RDLs. I just kept it simple. A couple quad movements, a hamstring movement, worked out some of the calves, and I feel really good about it. Did a little bit of cardio, hit the sauna. Didn't do too much cardio, honestly, because again, with those shoes, what I don't want to do is like aggravate my plantar fasciitis. So I should have bought a bigger bag, because that way I can have 2 pairs of shoes inside there. So I use those shoes to get in my cardio. But I still got some cardio in. I still need to go home after I'm done grocery shopping, walk the dog, and kind of just get my steps in a bit more. So I felt really good. Very happy with how I felt. And like, it definitely beat me up. Like, legs is always something that's gonna beat me up. Between legs and shoulders, I feel like those give me the best. You know, all that lactic acid moving towards your legs, and you know, so between sets I'm just kind of panting like a baby, and but I'm happy with it. And honestly, I really need to step it up kind of moving forward for a little bit. You know, wife and I, we have a trip planned out of town next month, and it's not necessarily because of that. It's just now that I've got my knee in gear, I can make sure I maintain and do cardio multiple days a week. I'm already getting my steps in, so let me kind of unpack that a little bit. I'm gonna get no less than 10 to 12,000 steps per day, which for me is kind of a minimum, right? But I'm talking about cardio in addition to that. I'm a big guy, I'm 300 plus pounds. Like, I need to get my cardio in plus my lift, and also making sure I got my meals right. So I'm about to go grocery shopping. There's not too much I need to get this week. Oh, the quinoa that I made last week, check out my meal prep video. That quinoa came out fire. So I think that's going to be the move the next week or two, or until that bag is gone, and I might decide to stick with it, or I might decide to move on. But what I'm going to say about it is that you can't eat as much as you can with rice, because the carbs are a little bit higher. So the portions for me, because I'm doing lower carb, not no carb, but lower carb, as far as my diet goes, I can't eat as much, but it's more filling in my opinion. So when I had the 97 or 93.7 ground beef with the spinach and peppers and the quinoa, wife loved it, I loved it. Super basic, easy meal, but a lot of flavor, really good. Definitely recommend quinoa if you're not a big fan, or you haven't tried it, I should say. Give it a try. And if you're somebody who is trying to bulk up, I will say you're gonna get more bang for your buck carb wise when it comes to quinoa. So just an observation first week. I'm no health specialist, but that's just my observation when I'm looking at my macros. So I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Until next time, peace.